Hi guys, the Mental Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be ranking all 14 Cannibal Corpse albums from worst to best. Alright, let's begin. Number 14, the worst Cannibal Corpse album of all time, the worst one in my opinion, is Gallery of Suicide, released in, I think, 1998. Yeah, it was released in 1998, and it's bad. It really is. It's just, none of the songs are memorable. The production is bad, even for a death metal album, and the vocals are just not good. I don't know what the hell was going on with that, but I don't know. It's just an overall dull. It's overall very dull, very forgettable. It almost just seems like they put out an album just because the label told them to, even though they didn't want to put out an album. I know, it just seems that way. It seems like even though they didn't want to put out an album yet, but the label told them you have to put out an album, so they just made one. Yeah, so yeah, that's at number 14. Number 13 is second worst. Second worst at number 13 is Butchered at Birth. Okay, here's the thing. I love the lyrics. I love the artwork. I love the song titles. And I love the instruments, but what kills this album for me, what really brings it down for me, are Chris Barnes' vocals. Like, he did really well on the first album, but just got worse and worse and worse as time went on. Like, really bad. Like, he started out pretty good, like, with traditional old-school death metal vocals, but then got really bad. Like he just, it almost sounded like he didn't care anymore. Like, as time went on, he got a lot deeper to the point where he just sounded like the stereotype version of death metal vocals. Like, it was pretty bad. And this album is where it started. And yeah, I cannot stand his vocals on this album. They just really ruin it for me. But yeah, that's at number 13. At number 12. Okay, so the next two albums that I'm going to be ranking, I don't actually own. I have listened to them, but I don't actually own. Just because Tomb of the Mutilated and The Bleeding are extremely hard to find because they're on Amazon, but they go out of stock almost immediately as they're stocked. And they're pretty expensive on eBay. So, anyway, number 14, 13, yeah, number 12. Sorry, I lost count. At number 12 is The Bleeding. Again, not George Fisher's. What was it? Oh yeah, Chris Barnes' vocals are just horrible. Like I said, they got worse and worse with each album. They started off great, then got really bad. Yeah, I mean, The Bleeding is forgettable. Like, I mean, I guess the lyrics are okay, but everything else, like, and I don't know, it just didn't seem like anyone didn't really care at that point. But yeah, number 12 is The Bleeding. At number 11, I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me, but at number 11 is Tomb of the Mutilated. Again, Chris Barnes' vocals really ruin it for me. Like, I love the atmosphere, I love the lyrics, I love the instrumentation, I love the gory imagery, but Chris Barnes' vocals are really horrible. Again, I don't know why he ended up having vocals like that. Like, again, he did really well in the first album, but just got worse and worse. I had to put it this low because I really hate those vocals. I don't know what the hell happened with that, but yeah, it's not good. Hold on. Number 10 is Vile. I guess it's an okay start for George Fisher. Like, this is the first album George Fisher was on. This was released, I think, in '95. This is the re-release, a Japanese pressing. I still have the little tag for it, the Japanese tag. And then on the inside, there's regular pamphlet, but then there is, I don't know if you can see it, there's a pamphlet with Japanese on it. But yeah, this album is a mess, but there are some somewhat memorable moments. Like, here's the thing, the weirdest thing about this album is that half of it sounds like the style of Cannibal Corpse album from the Chris Barnes era, but then half of it sounds like George Fisher style era Cannibal Corpse album. It's very odd and just off-putting, and it's just, I think the only song that's really memorable from this album would be, Mummified and Barbed Wire, but that's about it. And just overall not a good album, but definitely not the worst. What's the number 10? Number 9 is Bloodthirst. This one is, we're starting to get to the okay albums. Like, from here on out, like, these next couple ones are just gonna be okay. Again, this is an okay album. Like, they're like, I like the songs Coffin Feeder, Hacksaw Decapitation, and Condemned to Agony. But everything else is just not good. Like, those songs I just mentioned are not great songs. They're just somewhat memorable ones. But yeah, overall it's an okay album. Number 8. Number 8 is the highly disappointing album, Bread Before Black. This is like during like 2010s, Cannibal Corpse went on a winning streak. Like, their albums were awesome, but when we got to this 2017 release, it was really disappointing. Like, I don't know, they took like, they went like 10 steps forward the last few releases before this, but then they went like 100 steps back. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. This is just not good. I mean, there's like one song that I do like from the album, which is Firestorm Vengeance is a great song. Everything else sucks. But yeah, it's just not that good. It's kind of meh, but definitely not as bad as the other ones before it in this list. Number 7 is Kill. This album really started the trend of very dull and boring artworks for Cannibal Corpse albums. As you can see, it says Cannibal Corpse and then Kill in big black letters on a red background. Again, like with the last album I just mentioned, there's only one memorable song from the album, which is Make Them Suffer, but that's about it. Everything else sucks. Okay, sorry, I almost lost track of where I was at. Yeah, at number 6 is Gorb. Again, this one only has one memorable song, and it's Pit of Zombies, which is one of my favorite Cannibal Corpse songs of all time, but unfortunately it's on an album where the rest of the songs just are really bad. Yeah, but Pit of Zombies is an awesome song, I love it, but unfortunately the rest of the album sucks. Yeah. Number 5 is The Wretched Spawn. This one has a few more memorable songs. Like, I like, let's see, the title track, Rotted Body, Landslide, Slain, and They Deserve to Die. But other than those few songs, again, this album is kind of boring. Yeah, but that's at number 5. Okay, so everything here on out, like, the next 4 albums I absolutely love. So here on out, the Cannibal Corpse albums that I'm about to rank higher up are just range from good to great, or actually the first one I'm about to put on here is just okay, but a really good okay, a really high ranking okay. Anyway, at number four, at number four is Evisceration Plague. This one is a step up from the previous albums, like I said, what was it, Kill, and a few others back before that one were pretty boring. But this was definitely a step up. This was released in 2009, and this is a step in the right direction. I like Priest of Sodom, Scolding Hail, Cauldron of Hate, and the title track Evisceration Plague. Like, they were really trying again. Like, for a while, I think, like, in my opinion, from everything I've heard on the albums for a while, it kind of sounded like they just weren't trying, like they were going to give up at some point soon. But here, it sounds like they really, really put their all into it. But, yeah, that's a number four. At number three is Torture from 2012. This is another step in the right direction. Like, this is the sound that I was looking for in terms of modern era Cannibal Corpse. But yeah, this is just a great, like, the first half is good. Like I said, it's typical for a Cannibal Corpse album to have a great first half, but a bad second half. So that's not kind of a big surprise. Yeah, I mean, songs like Demented Aggression, Psychopathic Frenzy, Scourge of Iron, Encased in Concrete, As Deep as the Knife Will Go, Intestinal Crank, and Followed Home, and Rabid, and Torn Through are great songs. But yeah, so this is a good album. I love it. All right, at number two. At number two is their debut album, Eaten Back to Life. I love this album. Yeah, there's some stinkers on it, like Shredded Humans, Edible Autopsy, Put Them to Death, not Rotting Head, Bloody Chunks. But everything else is awesome. Like, I'd say the three best songs on the album are definitely Mangled, Scattered Remains, Splattered Brains, and Skull Full of Maggots. Like, those songs are just absolutely awesome. Classic old school death metal feel to it. Like, this is just great. A great album. Like I've said before, it's not like one of the best old school death metal albums, but it's still really good. I love it. Alright, number one. The best Cannibal Corpse album, in my opinion, is Skeletal Domain. I love this album. This is what I was looking for in terms of, like, what I was really, really looking for in terms of modern era Cannibal Corpse. Like, this really nailed it. Like I've said before in my review of this album, George Fisher has never sounded more demonic, more monstrous than on this album. His voice is great on this album. Like, the band, everyone in the band, and on this album sounds great. The atmosphere is awesome. Like, even though this is modern, like, this is done with modern production, like, it still has that soul to it that older music did back before modern production kind of ruined it. But again, once in a while, like I said, once in a while I'll find something of modern era stuff that really, really is good. And this one is one of the best of terms of modern era music or modern era albums, and I absolutely love it. All right. So that's it for my ranking of the Cannibal Corpse albums from worst to best. I'll see you guys in the next video.